Hi, it's Friday, the 6th of December, and we're here to look at the daily astrology. I'm going to, first of all, share the chart so you can look at it, and let's just get on with that. There we go. Right, now, daily astrology, transiting astrology, is totally reliant on the planets. It's different to a birth chart. So what we've got in here is a lot of planets. For those who haven't seen these videos before, this line across here is actually the horizon at the moment that we're looking at. And everything there is above the horizon. So this is all the planets in the sky, and this is all the planets on the other side of the Earth. Now, wherever you are, you will have a different perspective, and you won't necessarily have this line here. It'll be somewhere else. But the planets remain the same. And so from wherever you are on the Earth, the planets will be talking a language which is the same language. They have the same aspects, they have the same distance between themselves. And therefore, if you're in Australia or you're in Alaska or whatever, these planets from our perspective on Earth look the same, but all these lines will be different. So what I do for transiting astrology is I just look at the relationship between the planets. That makes sense. So we have the sun here, and that's at 15 degrees of Sagittarius. That's the sign for Sagittarius, 15 degrees, and that's the sun. And opposite to that is Jupiter. That planet is called Jupiter, and that's at 16 degrees of Gemini. Now, because these are in opposition, they are picking up an axis in the sky. So, like, think of a wheel spoke, an axis. And the axes, if that's the right word, there'll be some plural somewhere, axes, axi, I don't know. The anyway, so the axes, in the absence of me knowing what it is, tell a story. They are all about a development from one side to the other side. There is development, maturity. The axes have similar themes, but approach them in a different way. And so it's always when you see an axis, you're thinking similar theme, but there's going to be some maturity in the sign, the zodiac sign, which comes later in the zodiac. Now, let's just look at this while we're here. First of all, I want to mention Jupiter in the sky at the moment, because the sun is opposite to Jupiter and we're in the middle. So it's like a full moon, right? So the sun is lighting up Jupiter. None of these planets, by the way, have any light of their own. All of the planets reflect the sun's light just as the moon does. So because there is an opposition, because the sun is on one side and Jupiter is over there, just like the moon, we're seeing the full face of Jupiter at the moment. So if you can in the night sky, if you can get one of the apps on your phone, there's a free one called Stellarium, which is very good. There's a Google night sky maps, night maps, something like that. You just search for it. That's quite reasonable as well. Locate Jupiter. It won't be hard. It will be absolutely brilliant. It will be really, really, like it's full face. It's a full moon, but it's not. It's a full Jupiter. There we go. Right, so just sort of mention that. I'm going to go back to the share now. Let's look at the astrology instead of the astronomy. That was astronomy. Animated page and share. Right, back to here we are. This tells a story. So the sun opposite Jupiter, what is it talking about? It's first of all, you've got to look at the themes, like I say, of that particular axis. And the Gemini Sagittarius axis is about learning and developing that into wisdom. It's about collecting knowledge and putting that knowledge to use as, for instance, a philosopher might, or a spiritual guru, or a university professor. Um, it's also about traditionally journeys, long journeys, short journeys, and it's very much about news and communication as well, and feeling a feeling as if you want to learn more, to broaden your horizons, to explore. So there's an exploring thing. So you get these BBC um, presenters who um, go and explore jungles in far off places. It's that kind of thing. David Attenborough. Okay, it's very much a positive, joyous, um, moving, excitable, vivid affair. It's in masculine energy, so it's yang energy, so it's pushing outwards, and it's volatile. It has energy. The So Jupiter is in Gemini, which is the opposite sign to his own sign. So Jupiter rules Sagittarius. So we've got Sagittarius and Jupiter in here. We've also got quite close Mercury, which actually is the ruler of Gemini. And so that's in its opposite sign. And we've got the sun there. We've got a lot of fire here. We've got fire planet in the sun, fire planet in Jupiter, fire in the zodiac sign of Sagittarius. So this actually should produce for today, for this weekend, quite a lot of energy, excitable energy. If you're doing your office party tonight or tomorrow night, it has a lot of opportunity to go with a bang because everybody's in a fabulous mood. This kind of stuff. Okay. It also speaks of foreign journeys. It also speaks of foreign news. So I'll just put all those things out there and we'll see what we see on the news. Now, having said all of that, because I just stuck to those two things, I am now going to throw something else into the mix. They are all being squared by Saturn. Saturn is at an angle, a 90-degree angle to this setup. This is something called a T-square. Right, Saturn is going to take the edge off that fun. Saturn requires more hardship than just plain old fantastic fun. Saturn always puts a little problem in there. So something pulls against you, something trips you up, something doesn't feel as happy as it should. At the moment, it is Mercury which is taking the full brunt of this. So this could mean things like depressing news or a journey that is arduous. Funnily enough, I am a Gemini, right? And so Mercury is my ruling planet, really. And my car failed a test, which we have to do here in the UK every year. It's called an MOT test. So it checks everything about the car to check it's on the road and keep it, in good condition. So I just learned an hour ago that my car has failed this test. And it is a very expensive exhaust, and which they can't get until Monday. So my car's off the road. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, well, I know exactly what it means for me. I haven't got my car. I can't drive it. It would be illegal. It's failed an MOT. So that's what it means for me. So I'm just telling you that so that you can feel sorry for me. But I'm also telling you so that you can see the sort of things that happen. And now, this is not because Mercury is going retrograde, right, that this has happened. It's because Saturn is in there. So don't go, oh, there you go, Mercury retrograde. No, 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 don't wear that. It's because Saturn's squaring Mercury. That's it, I promise you. Okay, so that's one thing going on here. And the whole thing is on the mutable cross. So that means it's very flexible, adjustable. There's a lot of movement possible. So things could be all over the place. So let's put it like that. Okay, we've got Ceres and Venus here, both at 29 degrees of Capricorn. So both on the verge of going into Aquarius to join Pluto. This is an important move, actually. These are two aspects of the feminine. Venus represents an aspect of the feminine which is to do with physical things, manifesting things, attracting things, manifesting, winning, pleasurable things. It's an earth feminine planet. Ceres is more of a water planet, really. It's about the parent-child bond, can be very emotional, and can describe challenging emotions between parents and children. Now, Ceres also is about bringing things through from seed to fruition. So growing human embryos, growing children, growing babies, taking them into adulthood, but also seeds, as in seeds that we put into the fields under the soil to grow vegetation. So now, both of those joining Pluto. It's quite a powerful moment, to be honest with you. It gives a very dense and huge, I'm going to have to say the word huge, massive, um, energy or boost into the subterranean world, the underworld. It speaks of big secrets behind closed doors, of subterfuge, and because this Ceres also represents child abduction, child kidnapping, that kind of thing, where mothers and children are separated from each other, which isn't very pleasant. There is a famous myth about Demeter and Proserpina. No, I can't remember. Trying to think of the Greek and the Roman names. But anyway, so there's a myth about a mother with her daughter in just walking through the fields picking flowers, and Pluto rides up in his golden carriage from a crack in the ground and kidnaps um, Demeter's daughter and takes her into the underworld where he rapes her, but he also makes her his queen. So she becomes queen of the underworld. Now, I don't want to sort of get too bogged down with the actions taken there. Myths can be quite violent, and they are of their time. However, um, there was a very high profile kidnapping from a young girl called Madeleine McCann many years ago, and the Pluto series symbolism was active for the whole thing, extremely active. So there is something to do with that kind of issue and that kind of trouble. But it can also mean birth, but also there's always a flip side. It can mean the birth of children, and well, the birth of babies. So it's a moment when the feminine and three aspects of the feminine come together for a council meeting, if you like, and all in one place. And it can be quite powerful and potent. Okay. The fact that it's in Aquarius, this is one of my pet subjects at the moment, Aquarius, the changes in the zodiac sign of Aquarius. How Aquarius is changing to meet the needs of the future. We are going to need an astrology to describe the things that are coming at us in the future, which we have no experience of so far. Aquarius is changing for this purpose to become an energy which we can use. And I get a feeling looking at these three very powerful symbols getting together, I get a feeling that something is rumbling underground. The feminine is birthing something here, and nothing will get in its way either. And working in the sign of Aquarius, it's to do with higher communication. So quite exciting stuff. I'll be interested to see how this pans out. Um, okay, right. I better stop there because I'm rambling on. And thank you for listening. And I hope that was interesting. And I will hopefully see you next Monday. I hope. Oh, I can just see my blind cat walking behind me there. That was Freya. Okay, thank you. Have a nice weekend. Bye.